I want some candy.
Hi you guys, it's Heather Armstrong from Dooce.com, and I recently launched a new segment of my website, a community on my website, and where readers can come and ask each other questions. And one of the first questions that was asked, which I thought was really interesting, was how do you react to a public tantrum? I have a lot of experience with a child throwing a tantrum in public, and my usual reaction was to pick her up off the floor where she had thrown her body, take her to a quiet place or a quiet corner or somewhere in the cereal aisle, wherever we were, and try to talk her off the edge, because she would routinely go to the edge of sanity.
My daughter was so easy. She was a late talker. And then came my son, and my son's needs didn't all get met. We had a hard start, he and I had my grandmother at the same time too, and she was pitching tantrums. So there was tantrums all around me, and I almost want to cry talking about it.
Public temper tantrums for us were not as common, not as frequent as they are for some people, but they did happen occasionally, and they were almost always indirectly my fault. You know, it was like I took him to the store a little too late and he was hungry, but I really, really needed to buy milk. And I think, well, it's okay, we'll just run in and run out. And it was always a mistake. I always treated public temper tantrums the same way I would treat my son projectile vomiting in public. Just get him out. Just get him out. Just don't stay.
Who of us hasn't been there with the toddler tantrum? In terms of what I do, it can range from either picking them up, throwing them in the car, as was done to me, or trying a soft voice and some bribery. Okay, if you could calm down, there's a big chocolate bar for you. Could we do that? Could we do that? Thank you.
Pick her up. If she doesn't calm down, I would usually leave. And that means that we would leave restaurants. We would leave the grocery store. And it would be punishment for her because she always wanted to be where we were.
The louder they got, the quieter I got. I would literally sit down and just start reading, because I had nothing to bring to the situation. If we were in an inappropriate place, if we were in a restaurant or an adult setting, I would take the kids usually to the car. I've spent a lot of dinners in the car.
I have always felt like if I see anybody whose kid is tantruming, I don't even want to look at them, because a couple of times I've done that where I've tried to give them the understanding look, but they've just glanced at me and just seen me looking and taken it the wrong way. Or I think, you know, they always have that look on their faces like, leave me alone. And I feel so bad because, is the last thing I want to do is judge anyone whose kid is doing that. It sucks.
It's like the same thing I experience when I hear a kid crying on an airplane. I used to like cringe and be like, ugh. I feel such relief that it's not my child, that when I see a kid throwing a tantrum, it's almost like a massage. Like, it's not my kid and I don't have to deal with it.
If you're on a plane, you could maybe help out. I have a sweet, sweet friend who is childless, but she is the most thoughtful person, and we're flying together and she hears a kid crying and fussing, and she's like, reaches down. Not only does she have a toy for the child, she has a toy that's wrapped in plastic from like a Happy Meal that she periodically picks up because she travels enough to know that at some point she will be with a crying child on a plane, and says to the mom, hey, maybe she'd like this. And of course, what kids, new toy, you know, I mean, that can stop a lot of tears. And first time I ever saw her do that, I was like, oh my God, you have to be my friend for life because you're the most thoughtful person I've ever seen.
Curious as to what you guys think. I mean, there is the spitting that you could do on the parents. There is the looking down at your nose. How dare they let their child scream like that? How dare they? My child will never do it. Oh, those are famous last words, don't you know it?
Join the Momversation at momversation.com.